Summertime is definitely here. Rising water temperatures and muddy water have diminished the speckled trout bite on the Lake Pontchartrain bridges. But there's an alternative for those who are willing to make the run. The rigs in Lake Borgne are starting to produce quality speckled trout. We started the day launching at Wrigley's Marina. From there, Zack Liberto of Hooked at Charters and Brooks Levy of Official Charters headed across Lake Borgne. Our first stop, a rig just east of the 2-lane rig. Armed with live shrimp on a drop shot rig, we found fish early. Another one, beautiful fish.
We might go anchor. Oh yeah. Out here in Lake Borgne. Beautiful day today. Water slick. Catching some nice trout.
Another one. Get him. All in one spot?
Yeah, so we're out here fishing the rigs in Lake Borgne. Water's starting to look good. Got a lot of shrimp boats out here. Biggest thing about fishing these rigs out here is, can't stress it enough, staying patient. These fish kind of move around the rig. It's a lot similar to fishing a reef. So, and if you get on a good bite, don't be too quick to leave if they shut off. Kind of stick in the same area, and you should be able to. The school should move back around. You should be able to keep getting on.
You got another one, huh?
We got a double. That boy Brooks. Oh, dude, we gotta load the boat with these things. That boy Brooks. Lights. What you say about it?
Nice trout. Check this thing out.
It's a gator.
Oh yeah. Fish just started moving out from the lake. It's getting a little too hot in there, so time to start venturing out, fishing Lake Borgne. These rigs out here in the marsh. First thing.
Off the rig. Cool. Well, we're dealing with some technical difficulties, as you can see over my left shoulder.
Looking like they're actually off the rig a bit,
yeah,
quite a bit.
We stuck a few, kind of blew up onto the rig a little too much, and just backed off a little bit, gave them a little time, and looks like they reset.
That's solid.
Good fish, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's right by that shell pad. You can cast past it, and then, you know, you feel that shell. That's just like it's pulling down.
Drum, it looks like. Sheephead. Nice. Good little add to the box.
Switch it over to the sliding cork, huh?
Yep. It is a little sheephead.
There you go.
Switch over to my favorite type of live bait rig here and catching them.
Another one on a sliding cork.
Nice trout.
Go. Deal.
Got this sliding cork. We're fishing about 13 feet of water. And I have it set about to where that bait is hanging down about 10 feet, just 2 or 3 feet above the bottom. Just my favorite fish. It really is.
Overgrown perch fishing.
That's it.
They're all about that size too, huh?
Tonight. Oh yeah. Good little size.
Hit. He is hungry, man. He came trucking through that grass.
Huh? He's swimming. He wants to get on the land.
Brooks, that net should be in that compartment underneath you. You got me all hemmed up. Whose line is this?
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good. Keep the video going.
All right.
I'm not gonna run film right here.
Well, which compartment is it gonna be in?
Right here. This rod box. That's a bowl. I told you I won't wake it.
This might take a while.
Good star right there.
Oh.
See how get them weights pays off.
Yeah, you read it.
Came up and ate it like a top. I'm gonna bring him on the left side of the boat. That's why I like this Concept 13. It's got 22 pounds of drag.
Look how much he tangled that thing up.
That's
That's
his
my
line.
line.
Oh.
Some cootie on.
Oh yeah.
Now he was
That's
back in
beautiful
that,
fish.
right back in there.
And the,
Yep.
look,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
there's another one.
Just
Another one
hunting.
there.
Brooks, cast your I don't know, we made a lot of noise. Cast your chatterbait in there. They're all up in the grass today, it seems. And look what happened. This is a pig, dude.
Yeah, he's fat.
Hold up, he's over.
That's a
He's gotta be over, dude. If he's not over,
no. I think that's a slot.
I don't know, dude. I think he's over. I think he's a touch over. Oh, Keith, you
Yeah, I know. Get behind him. Get behind him.
go straight off that point.
There you go.
See, that goes against everything, really. I mean,
Ooh, that's pretty fish.
this is your slot fish right here. That's in the back. He's the lower slot.
I might be able to grab him. No? Ooh, I don't know, man. That's a big fish.
No, he ain't over. I promise you that. He ain't nowhere near that other one was. He's gonna be hurt. He's not fat enough. Pretty fish. We want to pull See if you can
Man,
get your
yeah.
appraisal.
Big fish, huh?
He's sitting on that point where he's supposed to be. Up there eating crabs. Ah, he's in the slot. He's got a little. He's in the slot. Ah, he might be a hair over.
Yeah, it's getting to be. We can almost pinpoint where they're gonna be. You know.
Right.
Yep. A lot of these fish, you see that blue tail, a lot of them are feeding on crabs. We've been seeing, I don't know if we got any of it on video, but we've been seeing a lot of crabs sitting up on top of that shelf. So I've been burning this spoon through that grass and just kind of killing it on the edge. And it seems like if I can hold on to.
Feel a little man thigh here. All right, guys. Zach and Brooks, we headed out to Lake Borgne. We made the trip. We found the rig. Second rig we found. We found a little area where you could feel the shell pad on the bottom, and they were right on that shell pad. Live shrimp, it wasn't happening. I mean, plastics, it wasn't happening today. We switched over to live shrimp, and that was the ticket.
Yep. Usually, like me and Brooks, I mean, everybody usually likes catching them on artificial, but it just wasn't happening. It was tough. We kind of had to switch over to live shrimp, and surprisingly, we caught some really nice trout on the live shrimp. They were kind of a surprise. We expected with the calm wind conditions and water clarity over here to do well on the redfish. Weren't so much expecting the trout. It was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, we pulled up to that second rig. You could really feel the shells down there, and it wasn't long before we started putting some fish in the boat.
And if you could drag like we did with the drop shot and a heavier weight, you could really feel those shells, and you could locate just about where the fish were hitting.
Right.
I mean, when you couldn't feel the shells, they weren't hitting. Right when you'd feel it kind of get hung up a little bit, you know you were going to get a bite in there. And Brooks, you switched over to the sliding cork, and that seemed to keep you right above the shell pad where you weren't, worried about getting hung up. You talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the sliding cork is a great rig in the summertime when those fish are getting picky and they're not really wanting to bite on plastics anymore. You're wanting to use live shrimp. So you can get on that finesse trout bite a lot of times, and it's really tough to feel the bite. And a lot of times when you're fishing a structure with heavy shells on the bottom or any type of structure, it can be hard to feel the bite because your weight and your hook can get hung up on stuff, and you'll feel it bumping across that stuff and get it confused with the fish biting it a lot of times. So you set that sliding cork 2 or 3 feet above the structure. You can really narrow down that area where you know the fish is biting it. You know, you're fishing under a cork a couple feet above the bottom. When the fish bites it, you're going to know about it.
Yeah, and one thing I saw with the sliding cork is you had it underneath was a treble hook, no weight or anything. So that sounds like it seemed like it benefited you, where they would grab, they would hold on longer. You know,
right.
There's no jig head that they felt or anything.
Right, just a little bullet weight, 1/4 ounce.
So we put a few trout in the boat. Then Zach got a little antsy. He saw the shoreline, kind of like a hunting dog going hunting, and he wanted to get to that shoreline. And sure enough, we found the redfish. And Zach, talk about the pattern on a redfish, because typically we look for patterns for speckled trout and not redfish. You know, we head out, we'll just hit the shorelines, hit the duck ponds, but these fish, you can almost feel when you're going to catch one. It seems like in the beginning of the day, each one owned its own little turnas, and they were each one in there in the grass, and there was nothing, you know, off 3 or 4 feet off the grass that they were in those little cuts.
Yeah. The conditions we had real quick today was real clean water, incoming tide all day, still incoming. Not your typical day you'd want to fish the shoreline of Lake Borgne, but we had really calm conditions. And not a lot of people realize, everybody thinks that a redfish will just maul anything you throw in front of it. They're pretty specific when it comes to setting up on certain, I mean, usually if you get on a pattern, a lot of times you can just run that same pattern and look for the same cuts, same wind-blown points like we found at the end.
It's like you could feel when a fish was coming.
Right, you knew where he was supposed to be there, and you can kind of eliminate a lot of time doing that as well. You bump into one in random spots every now and then, but it's really good to hone in on a pattern and to have something. And then, you know, it slacks off a little bit, like the wind changed directions on us, and we changed the pattern a little bit, you know, fine-tune it to a point now,
points.
and then every point, it seemed like every other point, every couple points, you know the fish are there. You might not always get bit by them, but when you get that pattern, it gives you the confidence, you know, to really grind your teeth and fish hard, and you know that you're supposed to get bit in places.
All right, well, Zach, Brooks, looks like a successful day out here on Lake Borgne.
Absolutely.
In the pumpkin patch.
Join the fitness revolution that's sweeping the nation. 9-round, 30-minute kickbox fitness. 9-round is the ultimate 30-minute total body kickboxing circuit. A unique, fun, and proven workout that guarantees results. 9-round, 30-minute kickbox fitness. At 9-round, there are no set class times. A personal trainer is included, and your first workout is always free. Get fit 9 rounds at a time with 9-round, 30-minute kickbox fitness.